in my show, I talk a lot about this urge of being successful, of played by the book, of this way. And you have self-help books, you have a spiritual, a certain spiritual approach. You go there, you try different experiences, and then at the end, you're the same person.
Yeah.
There was no need.
Yeah.
There was no
You
need to
figure it
go
all out yourself.
all and above to just to figure it out. You are the same person. Like people, like it's your own
You just have
judgment
more
to yourself.
understanding.
It's your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's in French there is this word. It's intrinsic. It's something from within.
Intrinsic, yeah.
Yeah, that will tell you that success means you by itself. But then the problem, you are part of the system as well. I'm part of the system as well.
Anything that you wanna
Talk about?
any deep dark secrets you wanna get out before we start the episode? So
No,
you
no,
can-
I'm good.
No, this is a good place. It's a safe space.
هلا
Bro. It's a safe space, bro.
safe space with 3 cameras and one
Yeah,
mic.
four,
Safe space.
one of them, but he's not going to say
Yeah,
anything to
yeah,
anyone. The
yeah,
other
yeah.
cameraman, right? John Achr in the house. Welcome, bro.
Oh man, thank you so much. Happy it worked.
That we finally did it, right?
Man,
in the end.
it's my صراحة, it's my responsibility.
Yeah,
I'm never here.
It definitely is. You thought I was going to say, no. There's no make the guests comfortable in this podcast, bro. It's straight away. It's your fault. It's 100% your fault, bro.
What a good way to start.
You sent me to 18 assistants to get this done. And to be honest, I don't even know what happened because Kareem was like, yo, John's here. You guys should, you're going to get it on really
And
well.
you
You
were
should
like-
definitely do an episode. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And then 3 weeks later, I was like, bro, you sure you want me to do the John? Because it seems like that he's got way too much to do, bro.
لا man, أول شيء I'm sorry about all this mess.
So
First
you
we want
should
to thank Kareem and
Yeah.
Red Bull.
I mean, we're official. If you didn't know, we're official Red Bull verbal athletes.
Yeah.
So we're the
Athletes. It's known as
verbal
an
athletes.
athlete.
It's
Yeah,
the mouth,
verbal
bro.
athletes.
Yeah, verbal
Yes,
athletes.
Exactly.
How did you actually get into the whole Red Bull thing?
The whole Red Bull, I don't know. Like
just like me,
when
you
they
got kidnapped.
contacted me and I was like, bro, I have nothing to do with Wael Araqji, like the basketball player.
Yeah.
And what's the link
Or Fadi.
between me or Fadi? And no, I don't know what I'm doing. But then they said, this is interesting. Like we love to support stand-up. And then was John, it's only about throwing the can. And after there was the whole fridge with me on stage. Yeah, like very, very
Yeah. I mean,
subtle.
very subtle sponsorship,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
subtle
it's
promotion,
like,
right? When did you get your Red Bull tattoo on your back? Because
Now we're discussing
mine's healing.
for my face,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
my face, like
right?
having, yeah.
Just the tears that you get.
Exactly.
Every time you kill someone, you get a tear. Your one is every crate of Red Bull you finish, you get a tear. Just a little blue tear that hangs down there.
Thank you. Very subtle way to say.
Yeah,
Thank
right?
you, Red Bull.
Yeah, thank you, Red Bull, as always. 1 second. Just want that invoice to be sure that but welcome back to Dubai.
Thanks, man.
And you're here. You're leaving tomorrow, right?
Yeah, leaving tomorrow.
Okay,
I
so
came like this time for
came
4
just for
days.
this, right?
Just for this.
Just for this.
Exactly.
But when was you've been coming to Dubai for a while? Well,
Actually, I'm supposed to be based here.
That's what I thought,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm a Dubai resident. I'm
Legally.
happy to be. I'm happy to be a Dubai resident. But the thing is that I've been touring for a while, and I will be touring for a while. So, but I think I took a decision. Actually, my wife took the decision that in 2026 there is no touring. So in 2026 I will be fully here.
she had enough, right? When the hair straightener stopped working because of the electricity cut out, she was
Yeah.
like, "خلاص, enough, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we need full-time electricity
لا,
now."
we have to be in Dubai.
Yeah, yeah.
خلاص, in 2026 we will be fully in Dubai, hopefully. And yeah, that's it. So it's been a long year. So we've been touring around, doing shows almost everywhere.
And you
Like,
take your wife with you on tour everywhere you go?
most of the places she's joining. Now, actually, she left her corporate job. She had a corporate job here, and then she said, okay, I don't know who inspired her. I'm not sure about the
probably
traveling.
the bank balance, really, to be
Yeah,
honest, right? That can inspire a lot of
Like,
people.
I don't
bro.
know what I'm doing in this corporate job, staying from 9 to 5 every day, and then my husband is touring all year long. So I don't know how these thoughts got
Yeah.
to her, but yes, she decided to leave her corporate job, and now hopefully in the upcoming few months we'll be touring more and more together.
Nice. Win, please cut that out because my wife is still doing her corporate job.
Yeah.
And, I'm
And
at
I
the
want
beach
my
all day.
wife to keep on having.
I'm at the beach all day. I come back, she comes back tired, and I've got like sunburn on my face.
Yeah,
What did you do today? No, nothing. I went on the boat for a while. And,
Exactly. I was doing some research.
Yeah.
I have one day at home. It's called R&D, research and development. It's just sitting on my sofa and watching Netflix specials.
Right, but I mean,
Man,
that is actually research.
This is
bro.
what comedians should be doing,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Exploring other comedians' path. Yeah.
But see, this is something that I wanted to talk to you about. And feel free to speak Englishese, Leb English, or whatever,
Okay.
the mix of
Is it
both.
a way to tell me that better to
No, because I was
to continue doing
I was gonna start
interview,
episode with,
this podcast?
with John, ça va? How are you, bro? And pretend we're all French for the three French fans.
Yeah.
But feel free to flick in and out because there's a lot of Arab following.
Yeah.
Where I don't know, but there's somewhere around.
Somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
Where does, because this for me, let me give you a bit of background, okay?
Mhm.
Lebanon, مولود هون,
Okay.
raised in England,
Okay.
had a couple of holidays in la bibliothèque in France,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
So, j'ai parlé un petit peu français.
Okay.
That's about as far as it goes. So, I don't have a huge attachment to Lebanon.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm kind of using this episode as a bit of an educational history class for me
Cool.
because
This
I have
is a
family
lot
there
of
and I've never been to
responsibility.
Lebanon.
Yeah. Never.
See, that's the thing. I get that, and you're the only one that hasn't been violent to me when I've said that.
No, I'm not.
To be
violent.
honest,
No, I'm not.
because
Violent. I
they
can
take it-
understand. I can
Us
understand.
Lebanese are very patriotic, right?
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
patriotic people. So when somebody hears that I've never been to Lebanon, they take it very personally. And it hasn't been that I don't want to go. It's just that, you know the Lebanese, right?
No, I understand. Like you're so far away. Like
So far-
now we're in
Yeah.
Australia.
Right, it's an hour's
doing
drive.
this,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
No. But like most of my life was in England, so we never used to. We were here. My grandfather used to work with Sheikh Zayed and everything. They offered him the passport. He was like, "ليش أنا عند لبنان."
أكيد.
Back in
Why
the
do
day,
we-
it was one road and a
Exactly.
camel. So
Exactly.
I mean, I still wish he took it because life would have been a lot different. But I
Yeah.
have the British, so it's okay. It's,
Yeah, you have the British.
yeah. So my dad passed away here, and then we went to Obros, which is
Okay.
the thing that every Lebanese
Also
person does.
super far from Lebanon.
Yeah, super
like
far.
who could have
Who could
had
have thought, right?
this idea going from
Right?
Cyprus to Lebanon? Yeah,
like
it's
going-
crazy.
it's
crazy.
like going to Cambodia for me, bro.
Like
So, yeah.
if you went like swimming, you could have done it in 4
Not
hours.
swimming. If I
yeah.
fell in the water, bro, and I turned in the water and I got out the other side of the pool, I
Yeah.
would have been there. And then raised in England, so it just happens that I haven't been back kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like family in Lebanon and stuff like that. And Jibber is known in Lebanon.
Exactly.
I think, I don't know. Like again, I don't know. But
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
hear Jibber, everyone's like, "Oh, أنت من
There is a
Jibber,
minister.
Wafid Jibber."
There is a minister now.
Yeah, Wafid
from-
Jibber, he's in the military and stuff.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah, yeah.
uncle. So I know I can get guns if I ever go there. That's about
Man,
as far
wow,
as it goes. You
amazing.
know all about military, right?
Yeah. So what's the drill? So why why you didn't go?
Because
yet?
every time I wanted to go, one time that I really wanted to go, I was ready to go. They bombed the harbors, right?
Okay.
And then there's always something crazy that's happening, and then I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like,
No.
is it really worth it? I just like being on the beach, bro, and chilling. And I don't drink alcohol, and I'm not a
Okay.
clubber.
Okay.
Like I think dancing is arrogant walking. I don't understand the whole.
But it's fine. Like going on the beach, it will be a good thing. I will suggest. I will
You'll take.
be your guide.
Yeah,
I will
but-
be your guide to Lebanon
I
this
don't know if
summer.
I could trust you, bro.
This
having,
because every
having one of
ti-
the top comedians as your guide is not gonna be
Like
the right
every
way.
summer they tell us this is the best summer ever, and
Yeah.
every time things get worse. But
Yeah, so-
like this year, I'll say, okay, they said it again,
So it must be right.
and again we will trust them.
Yeah.
Whoever the people who are saying this.
Okay, so being, I don't want to ask this cliche question of, so how did you get into comedy?
Mm.
But how difficult, not how difficult, I just find the resilience of the Lebanese people unlike anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird. Like literally during air raid sirens, they're going down into a club and they're partying when stuff's going
Yeah.
on. So I understand the whole comedy still happening, whether shit's hit the fan or not. But
Yeah, but I don't like the word the resilience. You know, resilience is like bouncing back as if nothing happened, and this is bad. You know, we've been resilient for a while, and you know, every time something happened, oh my guys, we're going to party, but then you realize at some point that we're doing nothing about it. I would love to use the word like we're agile, like doing something else. Okay, so some people have left the country since the last crisis from 2019 till today. And some people have figured out their way out, but also by always keeping in mind to support their country. Some people don't care anymore, and it's their right because they went through a lot and they don't want to talk about it anymore. But some people, they always have in mind, okay, I will find my way back to the country, but meanwhile, I need to find my own path in life. And this is why I don't like resilience. You know, resilience is like bouncing back
but
as if
agile
nothing
is
happened.
also not a good word.
But
Because
agile
you go to Australia and the
is
Lebanese
fine.
guys there are quite agile, bro. I remember
They were so
the
agile.
criminals, bro.
They were so
Like I
agile,
remember
yeah.
I was in Australia, and my friend, I met some guys and they were like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Lebanese." They were like, "Don't say that, bro." I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Don't tell anyone you're Lebo."
Yeah, Labo.
Yeah, Lebo. And this is
man.
Byron Bay, like these areas. He was like, "Yeah, the Lebanese out here, they're
You know,
pretty tough, bro. They're crims."
it's really when I performed in Australia, I made a joke about one Lebanese criminal who got caught, and like he went to Lebanon, and it was a whole thing. Everyone knew he's a criminal, and white collar criminals, which is another
another level. Yeah.
another level. So I made a joke about him, and then I started getting death threats. Like, how do you dare making a joke about your fellow Lebanese? And then I said, guys, he's a criminal. Like, he's been.
First
like,
off, I'm a comedian.
The first people who were, how to say it, da'arum in his problems was Lebanese themselves. Like he stole money, he didn't deliver apartments on time. He's big into real estate, and then the government realized that he had hidden maybe 100 million Canadian dollars in his place in cash because he decided to buy a Lamborghini for his wife, and then he was showcasing the Lamborghini on his TikTok account.
Wow.
So then the government made the link, and okay, it seemed that this guy is not paying taxes, and it was a whole thing in Australia. And then when I made the joke, people started complaining, like, how you make a joke about a fellow Lebanese, even like he's a criminal. Imagine, this is agility taken to the extreme.
It's a weird one as well, yeah, because even like, so I have a friend of mine who's a comedian. Do you know Abs?
Yeah, sure.
Abs.
Yeah.
So he's got a joke where he's like, he's in Australia and he's telling people about Lebanese guys, and he's like, oh, they're telling him how dangerous Lebanese are, and he's like, oh yeah, but over here they're the puftas.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like the two crazy, and you do get that. You get that side of it, but then you get the other Lebanese that are from areas that, mate, these are the hardest guys that you don't mess with these guys. But on the other side, you have the media side
Exactly.
with the nose jobs and all that stuff. It's such a crazy mix.
But it's interesting,
right?
and it's an interesting mix. And I think when we need all this, it's part
Together.
of our identity. It's part of who we are. It's part of this pluricultural way of seeing things.
I
And
think-
all of them are
Even
Lebanese.
though,
They consider themselves patriotic and super proud of their Lebanese.
I feel like if Lebanese was a Facebook page, the relationship status would be, it's complicated.
Definitely
right?
for everyone.
For everything. Yeah,
Like for you, it's fine. Okay, you're not born in Lebanon,
Yeah.
right? So you lived all your life. But also for us, like people who left Lebanon in 2021, for me, it's complicated. I don't know what's my relationship right now. Do I go back? I don't go back. It's toxic. It's happening. Some people say, oh, now there is hope. Oh, some people, no, please don't believe in hope. Every time they tell us there is hope and everything. So we are in a very toxic relationship, and we don't know what to do about it. And people living in Lebanon,
crazy,
it's even worse for them. Like saying, oh, is it the right time to leave the country? No, we want to stay here. No, our families are there. And then, poof.
And the money, the dollar, and all the way things change with that as well. But again, I don't want us to get this too political, but I want it to get too political.
Yeah.
How does a country that was known of the Europe of the Middle East back in the days, right? Somewhere that was so flourishing and so kind of like, I mean, Lebanese are known for, their advancements and their society and very social people, very, very social people. How does it get like that?
But by corrupt leadership, it's clear. No, there are like the same people who were there during the war are still here ruling the country. Hopefully, there is some change that is happening today in the country. But all overall, like what we have seen during the last 40 years, that we're still into the same type of leadership. And they are still here. They are present. They are corrupt. They have their own control on the government itself. They have their own control on the para-governmental institutions as well. It's a whole system within the system. So they have it all. They have it all. It's very difficult to penetrate. Like you can see in the last election, the municipality election, it's difficult to
wipe out
because it's a system. Like to try to penetrate the system, it's very difficult because the system also has tools to stop others from destroying the system itself.
They have fallout plans in
Yeah, even in the worst day, when we thought that the system will collapse on its own, because it was so corrupt, they managed to stay. And it's a whole system with media, with banks, with high-ranked officials. But hopefully things are changing. But I've been saying this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've been saying this
because I'm sure my mum was saying that to me.
We need to have a little bit of hope, yes?
You do, but at the same time, again, the agility thing. You do. I think people have realized that there's no hope and have found a way to adapt around that suits them, because they know it's not going to change. So they're like, I'm going to make it work for me like this. And if it does change, then I'm in a super good position when it changes, right?
Yeah, my parents always they told me there is no hope. But like I believe now we have a great prime minister, we have a great president. Maybe I don't know. But we never had this type of officials. Like we never had these people who are a little bit visionaries, like having something interesting to say. They have a little bit of good relationships in the Arab world that they might help us to get investment. I'm not sure. Let's see.
But how do you then place your trust that these people won't get tainted with the old?
Okay, let me tell you something. First, when you told me that you were disconnected from Lebanon, I really believed that you were disconnected. It doesn't seem.
No, I'm still Lebanese. I still know.
You have a whole picture of the. I'm not sure.
Globally,
I'm not sure.
Right? Africa, everyone. It's corruption. It's corruption.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's difficult. It's difficult when the system is so corrupt. I had my own experience with the system itself. I did my master's degree in international relations 1 year in Beirut, and 1 year I did an exchange program at Sciences Po Paris. And I did my internship at UNESCO, as an international organization. And my maître de stage who was handling my internship, he told me, "Oh, what are you doing during summer?" I told him, "I'm going back to Lebanon." He told me, "Why are you going back to Lebanon?" I was like, "Oh, Lebanon, it's my country. It's my responsibility. I have a duty towards my country." And then the guy started laughing. He told me, "Look, John, there is a system. Either you're part of the system, either the system will take you out of the country, and this ping pong will remain for your whole life, because either you're in the country and you're part of the system, either you will have to leave the country." And I've been doing this for a while. Like I went there, I started working in the NGOs world. I realized it's like market shares. It's so corrupt. Then I decided to say, let me have my entrepreneurship journey in Lebanon. And I realized, like, every time I have a shipment coming from China, I had to pay the whole administration in Beirut port, to get the shipment done. Like every single person, if they didn't steal, like, already you will get the goods. Like every time when like you will get I don't know $100 of this one.
With no legs on it.
Yeah, no. But if you are shipping $100 of this one, you will say, we will keep 2 for this guy, 1 for this guy, 1 for this guy. You will have to pay everyone until you get your product to your warehouse. This is the system. Then you will feel, I'm now a part of the corruption. So, guys, I will stop. No shipments anymore. I'm not going to pay anyone at the port. And you see that the corruption resulted in the big explosion of 2000. There was so much corruption that we didn't know who signed the paper. We didn't know how we had this nitrat ammonium stocked in the port, and even like all the people who died in result of this corruption, they didn't have we don't even know until now who was the reason and how this happened. Imagine. So I was part of the system in 2021. I said, okay, no more. Okay, I had one friend who was assassinated and next to my village. He's a journalist, and then another friend. No, he's not a friend, but another journalist and researcher and potential political figure who was assassinated as well in January 2021. So I said, okay, I'm leaving. Okay, so now I'm from the other side. Okay, I know what's happening, but I don't want to return to this. I'm waiting. So hopefully one day I go back and forth for work. Like I perform in Lebanon. I do a lot of, I love performing in Lebanon. I love, this is my place, my city. It's everything. I love Beirut. I have a feeling that I cannot feel anywhere else in the world. It's like, it's your place. It's your house. It's your people. Okay, but then is it the right time to be now in Beirut? I'm not sure.
You're like, I'm a comedian. I'm not built for this assassination stuff.
Yeah. Like, and the worst part that actually no one told me that he wants to assassinate me. Right? I wasn't threatened by anyone. You know, I said, John, you're leaving, and then my wife, she was my girlfriend back then. She was, John, why are you someone like you were? Someone is threatening you. I was, no.
You're like, no, not yet. And that's the problem. I need to work on my craft.
Why? Yeah, exactly.
I need to be a bigger
why
name.
No one cares about my political views.
She's like, you made it and everything you're doing towards you. Like, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. I'm not getting that.
I need letters.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right?
Something on my car. Something on. Yeah, it's crazy.
So when it comes to comedy, have you gone down the political route a lot, or?
Yeah, I'm always down the political route.
How does that feel for you when you're performing that there? Is there any fear?
Actually, I get. Sometimes I get some threats. Like there was a guy with a gun who got threatened with one of my jokes. He was like, next time you do this joke, I will kill you. Okay, but I will kill you. But I was like making a joke about it, like. Crazy, no, it's nonsense to get threatened.
There are people who might actually kill you next time.
But okay, it was very well maintained, like very well managed. But now it's. I think I built trust, not enough, but I'm on my way to build a good trust with my audience that they know that I'm not here to threaten anyone. Like I do stand-up comedy, like. This is my views. Everyone knows them. I'm very. I'm not with any traditional political. I don't support any traditional political party, which are the reason of the corruption, reason why the system is working this way. So I'm outside the system, and I'm criticizing many components of the system. So people are actually they started to realize that there is this level of trust. So even if I criticize their political party, they were, okay, but we love this guy. Yeah.
Do you feel like being an Arab is... I'm so into comedy, and I have been since I was young. Like since, like my stepfather, he let me watch Richard Pryor stand up.
Amazing.
His special when I was like 9.
Wow.
So from then on, I never stopped. And I've always been that kid that would say the wrong jokes, when everyone comes over and my jokes are too adult for that kind of thing.
Why?
Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. Do you feel like being an Arab gives you, like being a black person, a black comedian, gives you that extra card to be funnier towards other races? Because, for example, black comedians can make fun of Arabs, they can make fun of white people, they can make fun of everything, and it's cool.
Yeah.
A white person makes fun of blacks and Arabs, it's okay. Yeah. But, it's not as smooth sailing. Do you feel like being an Arab and being from this part of the world, you can go that extra mile with your jokes?
Like, I'm not so much into this type of jokes. I'm not this much into it yet. Okay, I might get there. Yet. No, until now, my comedy, I wish it is, but it's not the global. My comedy is very contextualized, it's very specific, which is good for my close audience, but which is bad for a wider audience. So until now, I cannot make people laugh a lot in English.
Yeah.
Like I'm not able to.
I think you
it doesn't
can.
translate.
I think you
really
can,
well.
but you're so used to, and you know that the Arabic works.
Yeah.
But I think funny is funny. I don't think that.
You think?
Yeah, I think funny is funny. and I
Actually,
don't think
tomorrow I
that-
have a performance in English. I will
Perfect.
tell you. No,
Yeah,
I will let
send
you
me
know
a
after the
message.
performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I shouldn't have listened to you.
No, I think if you're funny in every language. I really do feel that speaking another language gives you another soul. Like you're different, because the John speaking English is completely different to the John speaking Arabic to the one speaking French.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I do believe that, but I think that I feel like funny is genetic. I don't feel like
Could be good. Yeah,
It's something you
genetic.
learn.
I think people can get funny and funnier.
Mm.
Okay, there are things that you can do. Likability is something that you have in your genes, right?
Yeah.
And then also you can work on it to make it likable actor.
Yeah, yeah.
You are more approachable. People can feel that they can relate to you. But also I think the type of comedy changes, because like now in Dubai, if I do a joke in English, it should be, everyone should relate. Like there is a white guy coming from
I mean, it just has to
Manchester.
be just has to be a joke about going to Sharjah in traffic.
Yeah,
bro. That's it.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
So you see, it's different type of jokes. My jokes until now are very contextualized. Actually, there is a thing that we're working hard as a team to make it more global, because until now it's very specific. So on tiny neighborhoods in Ashrafiyya in
Yeah, yeah.
Beirut, and then my village, my people, the way my parents born and raised in a Christian family, how it looks like. Okay, but this is good for a beginning of a career. It's not maybe as good as for but then this is a problem. I'm not sure if it will be as impactful, because now my comedy relates to people. So maybe later, if it's more global, it will dilute the relatability. Is it English?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can I say something which I don't know if you'll agree with or not? I think people make the mistake that we're all so different. You're a well-traveled guy, right? I guarantee you those same jokes, with a few names changed and town names changed, the same thing's going to be happening there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure your village that you talk about, and that one woman that always comes out and does this and that, in Guatemala, there's another village that has the same woman that has the same thing. So I feel like you like where you are because you know that you do it so well. But I don't think
Yeah.
that you understand how well
Global
it
it
works.
can get.
Yeah, how global it works.
Yeah,
Because
it
we
could
all are
be.
going through the same shit,
Yeah.
and we all have the same things going on. I think that it wouldn't be a big step for you at all to
I
just
might
change
need
it.
some time to understand this and
Yeah.
to see it clearly
Yeah.
in my head. Now I'm enjoying this blue ocean
Yeah, right.
strategy,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
when you go into untapped areas for Arabs, like performing full stand-up comedy show in Arabic for Lebanese in Sydney who left the country 3 generations ago. This is something I'm
But that's what I
enjoying
was-
right now.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say to you, because when I watch your comedy, I've never been to Lebanon, but I find it funny because I know Lebanese people.
Yeah, exactly. You can understand
I can
everything
understand
that's
it
happening.
instantly.
Exactly.
And, you know, as far as a lot of people concerned, they'll say, you're not Lebanese, bro. You know, you don't know anything. If you tell me if I land in Lebanon, I wouldn't know where to go, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I have no idea. I land in the airport, I'm this little blonde guy who, you know, and that's
Yeah.
another thing. We all look so different
Exactly.
in Lebanon, right? You have literally everything there. So I think that you'd easily slip into English, bro.
Because I will. In
Yeah.
2026, when
We'll
I have
start the
nothing
English
to
tour.
do here, I will go more into English, definitely. Yeah.
100%, bro. What do you feel like? Okay, this is something I wanted to talk about, which has really been interesting to me, and I want to know how it is to you. Humans are very weird, and this again is happening all over the world. On one side, we're all the same. On another side, we have religions. We have Sunni, Shia, Masihi, Darzi, all these things. And I know that there's crazy problems in Lebanon because of these labels and stuff. But these same people who would be raised in London or anywhere else in the world would be the best of friends, and it wouldn't even be an issue to them.
Yeah.
How?
Maybe not in London. ما بعرف.
Why?
Are you sure ما it could
But
be.
I had the Lebanese who
yeah,
were Druze.
but
I
not
had Lebanese.
but not everywhere in London as well, right?
Yeah, not everywhere.
Yeah.
but I mean, like, it's a major thing there,
Yeah.
right? It's not a, like, how does that work
How
in
does
the
that
community?
work?
Like, do you still get Sunni, Shias, Muslims, and all these different people coming to watch your shows?
The system. I think this is the result of for me it's so diverse, and
Yeah.
now my wife is Shia. It's another untapped market.
Yeah, right. That's the
It
reason
was
you
a
married.
great marketing
Don't let it out there. If
campaign.
she watches this, she'll be like, "He just married me for the brand,"
it's
right?
the biggest community.
Yeah.
But,
Like, my mom is Sunni, my dad is Shia. It's like Romeo and Juliet. If I land in Lebanon, they say, "Are you Sunni or Shia?" I'll be like, "Look, bro, this is so
wow.
complicated, man. I just wanted a
I
holiday."
know.
Yeah.
So the idea is like we are the result of the system itself. So in London, if you have a system that is stronger than the very small identities. Okay, so there is the identity of a system. You are someone who lives in London. Okay, this is a statement by itself.
Yeah.
You know, you live in London. You're British. You have the British passport. There is something, by the way, written on your passport that anything that happens to you everywhere in the world, like the British will get you from anywhere you are.
That's why I slap people with my passport.
You know,
because
like,
I get away with it.
like on the Lebanese passport, it
says anything outside this 1 kilometer, you're fucked, basically. Yeah.
Like, try to not to get in trouble. So, okay, so there is something about this British identity as well. There is an honor, there is a respect, there is something that the British government worked really hard in a good and bad way as well to preserve this. How to say this prestige?
Colonization?
Okay,
Prestige,
so there is something that people work really hard to build identities. Okay, and in Lebanon, your identity is minimized. Wow, this is very deep actually. Your identity is very minimized to your own religion, your own sect, your own neighborhood, and then the more you grow, you realize, oh, it's a threat for my identity. Oh, he's threatening my. Oh, no, this guy cannot come to my school because he's from a different religion, and this is happening until now. We live in 2025, and there are schools who are fully segregated. Segregated. Like you will have, in my previous school, there was 2 or 3 Muslims and 200 people in my class. Like we have the same age, we have 2 or 3 Muslim people who always they felt bad that they are Muslim.
That's
like they
crazy.
didn't know what
insane,
to do.
Right?
People go to church. What we do now, we go like what's happening. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's weird, and even the name, the family name kind of thing. But I understand what you're saying, and this is why I'm saying where it's weird for me because I haven't been raised this way. So I literally went from here to Cyprus and went to St. Mary's, which was a school run by nuns. And then I went to St. Mary Abbott's School in High Street, Kensington in London, where literally every Wednesday, like it was a Church of England school. So this is the school, here's the church. Yeah. It's like the highest steeple in England. So we'd be walking around, and me and my cousins would be arguing about who's going to carry the cross and walk, and we'd be singing hymns. Yeah. Like I was cold, I was naked, were you there? Like literally, like to the point that my cousin's like, you're Muslim, right? And you're arguing about the cross, who's going to carry the cross.
Also, I'm not sure this
cool.
is a good. Yeah, it was cool, but I'm not sure this is a good thing. Maybe like for my children, and this is something people might argue with me about, that I would like them to explore different path, different religion, different way to celebrate things. Because also
why they think that
actually
way.
I agree with you, because if you're there celebrating, because this moment is a moment of celebration, if it's in the mosque or if it's in the church, so it's a moment of celebration with God. So if they understand that love is in the essence of every religion, maybe they will have another perception on life as well. They will be more tolerant, which is something in the basics of the country we're living in right now. They will be more open, and maybe they will start having this identity a pluricultural identity, that my identity is also, it includes part of his identity. Yeah. So his part of my identity, I'm part of his identity, and this exchange by itself is actually helping us to grow as a human beings.
100%.
Wow, I think this is the real. Like,
right there.
That's it. It's so deep. That's it. That's it. We're done.
No, I 100% agree with you. And also, I think, like, through that, I learned to understand people and why they are like that and how they think and what their values are, right? And I think understanding is one of the most important things, even if it's not your way, but understanding. For example, I have a friend who has a son who's autistic. He has autism at quite a high level. Now, I know about autism. I've been around children with autism. So I understand when they're having sensory problems at that moment specifically and why they're acting that way, whatever. So if I see an autistic child on an airplane next to me, I empathize with the parent. I know why they're going through that. I'm not getting nervous, right? For somebody who has no idea about autism, they're just thinking, oh, this kid's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So I think having the understanding changes your view completely.
Wow, amazing.
On everything. Clip number 2, TikTok, play.
Yeah. That's
no.
it.
Do you know what I mean?
Changing your understanding. I had the same experience when we were talking about different identities, different religion. I had the same experience with my wife. Yes, so my wife is Shia, I'm Christian. We lived so different childhood. She lived in Riyadh her whole life until the age of 18. I was in a typical Lebanese Catholic school, and I lived under the Syrian occupation, and in my part of the country, her parents lived under the Israeli occupation in her part of the country. And then when we share experiences, we realize that the emotions are the same. The emotions are the same. At some point, I felt that I was bullied in my school. At one point, I felt that I didn't have friends at school, and she lived the same thing. At the moment, I felt that we are resistant to Assyrian occupation, and she used to feel that she was resistant to the Israeli occupation. And this is where, like we bond as a human beings in this emotional aspect. So again, maybe you don't have a child who's autistic, but at the same time you have a friend who has a child, or you experience something other than autism. Okay, like I have a friend who does epileptic seizure, and you have this mentality of empathizing with others coming from this personal and very personal experience.
And care. For example, so your friend, you're walking into the nightclub and then you see those lights and you're like, we're not going in there because he's going to have a super hard time in there and something's going to happen, right? You can prevent, it's like prevention, right? You prevent certain things from happening. And that's why you're so lucky with comedy traveling, because like I spent 2 years traveling around the world. I went to like 19 countries. I refused to wear shoes. It was my hippie days. I had like long hair and only in the airports they were like, you're not coming in here without shoes. And I was like, yeah. It's weird how after traveling so long barefoot, you put on these shoes, you're like, what are these feet prisons that we're putting on, right?
Wow.
But I changed so much as a person because of all the different places I went. And you just get to see humans in so many different ways, and they're just educated in different ways. But at the end of it, I laughed in every single country. I almost cried in every single country. Like I went through all of the emotions. I got angry because some dickhead in that country did something that... So it's a shared emotion. All through the emotions we have, there's no different. It's not that these guys are, you know what I mean?
Man, this is amazing, because this is traveling is the only thing that you pay sometimes for it, and actually it makes you a better person, right? So you pay for it, it makes you a better person, and you're experiencing it, and it's part of who you are today. So today you are the result of meeting all these people around the world, witnessing all these events, being part of them, and crying, laughing, and just enjoying your time with random friends. And these are the best thing that happened to your life, because sometimes you're just looking everywhere for an answer, and then there is a total guy, like total, how to say, حدا غريب, total stranger that he doesn't know who you are, he doesn't know that
when
you
least just expect it.
Stand up, he's just sitting next to you on the plane, and he tells you one sentence, and it changes your life. And whoa, definitely someone sent this guy here,
right?
and it's crazy. And I feel so. I'm not happy that not everyone is experiencing this.
Yo, guys, so everybody knows there's 2 days in a boat captain's life that are the best days ever. The day you buy the boat and the day you finally sail the boat after fixing it, after doing all the maintenance, after scrubbing all those little barnacles off the bottom, it's a headache. But that's where the Captain's Club comes in. So they started this really cool club. All you do, you sign up for the year as a member, you call them up, you go on the app, you tell them I'm coming, the boat's ready, it's filled with petrol, you take all your friends out, you go out, have a laugh and come back. You don't have to worry about all of that monotonous stuff that comes with owning a boat. So, guys, if you want to pretend you've got a boat when you don't have a boat, but still have a boat, call the Captain's Club. I think it's something that I definitely want my children to do.
Yeah.
I'm weird, I'm a bit protective over them because do you know why? So my wife was like, you're going to let them travel like you did, right? And I went, I'm talking about Singapore, Thailand, Australia, like Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Chile, Bolivia, like the most dangerous places.
Yeah.
But I was just this guy wearing Havaianas and board shorts, and I didn't, just my character, I can get in very quick. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if I wanted them to do that because they're twins. I don't know if I want them to do that by themselves and blah, blah, blah. But I think now, when I was really thinking about it, is because I'm thinking of these 7-year-olds doing it and not as they've kind of got older and matured.
But this is part of their growth to explore it on their
100%.
own.
I think I would even pay for it. I'll pay for a world travel. When they get to 18, I'll say, forget about going to universities. Do that later because you're not even going to do what you studied anyway.
Man, this is another big topic. Like if the schooling system
weird, right?
And universities are actually matching what's needed in the marketplace. Like, I don't know, like from my work, from your work, I'm not sure if actually it's matching. Like, I look at the schooling system.
Did you ever learn about money? Because I didn't.
This is what you needed.
Like I learned about money again. It was the Lebanese in my blood, bro. I would buy, sell, swap everything.
Exactly.
Like, and I made my own way around. Like, I was always good. But it wasn't because I was taught any kind of financial stuff in school growing up, which is such a weird thing to do, to the point that I almost think they want you not to know so they can take advantage of you.
You are a slave of the system, right?
Yeah.
So there is a bigger system that is... Actually, a friend of mine told me once that the whole schooling system, starting with Napoleon, who wanted to create more bureaucrats, because after the French Revolution, it was a total mess. So they wanted some structure in the organization. And the same model that Napoleon created in the 19th century, is still the same, as if nothing happened. So there are few classes that changes, there are few stuff that they can add into the system, but the system is still the same. And this is a big problem, that maybe we don't need all these years for our children to learn what they are learning. Maybe we don't need all this learning. Like now, knowledge is available. What is not available is a human connection.
Yeah.
Imagine, I deliver trainings, by the way, for companies about the human connections. And I really think it's really stupid to pay me to tell people, guys, maybe you should connect.
Maybe you guys should talk more.
And that's it. This is the end of the training. So exactly. I have nothing else to say. And teaching people at the age like 25 years in the same organization, asking me to teach them about emotional intelligence, I was like, bro, if there was any type of they were
if you had any intelligence, you wouldn't be paying me to tell you this right now.
Bro, it's crazy. So I realized that knowledge is here. We don't need more people with knowledge. I think everyone has the knowledge. I think we need connection. We need building strong relationship. We need people who are street smart, to go into a meeting and to close the deal. And to be happy about it and to enjoy it and to go with their friend just to celebrate this moment, instead of just waiting for another deal and being greedy and being part of the system where you never stop.
And you're never happy.
And you never... This is a big topic.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
When do you think you can say clearly that you're happy?
I've always been happy.
You are?
Do you know why?
Why?
I've never done a hard day's work in my life, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like, I don't... Like, this office corporate thing, I'd kill myself, honestly.
Man.
100%. Like, when I was younger, I used to play professional football. After that, I became a therapist, which is a personal trainer, basically because people just pay you so they can tell you crazy stories while they're getting fit. I worked with children, and I do this kind of thing. I never think it's work.
Amazing. And I tried corporate work a lot. I was super angry against like the lunchbox. Like this lunchbox. You wake up in the morning, you prepare something to eat, you take it with you all the way. You know, you drive all the way to the office, then having your lunchbox with the seat belt,
Right.
just to make sure nothing will happen to the
Yeah.
lunchbox. And then you open the fridge, okay, you put the lunchbox, and then someone from your colleague will complain that why are you putting the lunchbox this way? You have to open it, and then it's crazy. You have to wait until 1 p.m. Okay, it was a whole bit that I wrote in Arabic. That you have to wait till 1 p.m. to open the lunchbox, to take what's in, and to wait on the line for the microwave, you know, to heat the food. I feel life is so short to live this moment.
It's not.
And then to wait for your manager to tell you what to do, and if you're a good performer, yes or no, you have to jump on a call. It's crazy. They book your calendar. Imagine you live in a world where someone decides when they want to book your calendar. They saw it empty. So please, you have to attend. Why I have to attend? I don't
And
want
your
to
holiday.
Attend. Yeah, on a
when you want to go on holiday, you have to make sure. Like, imagine going to beg your colleague, bro, please let me go on the first week of July.
Yeah,
I know you've booked it, but I want to go. But there's a festival that I really want to go to.
Imagine you have to bargain sometimes to attend the wedding of a very close friend.
Yeah.
And I got super angry. I felt it's not me. It's not, life is too short to live these
100%.
moments. Then when I left, it was released. After there was a moment in my life, it was a mix, corporate, not corporate. I used to deliver a lot of corporate training, so I need to wear my jacket, wear my shirt. And after when I went viral online in 2022, I realized, guys, we're gonna stop this. I only deliver training for people I care about. Okay, so if an organization that something interesting about this organization, they have a nice culture, they want something, but then I'm not doing this corporate stuff anymore.
Yeah, bro, 100%. It's like, I think I really enjoy my life because I don't plan more than 2 hours ahead.
Ah, wow.
Like, honestly, I just don't care. Like, I will plan with my wife and kids. Okay, we're going in July to holiday or whatever. But I'm a firm believer in man plans, God laughs.
Yeah.
Right? And like, for example, the other day, a guy I know, I'm not going to say any names, he messaged me. He was like, look, I really want to sit down and have a coffee. This is a very, very rich, like almost touching billionaire. Let's sit down, have a coffee. I want to hang out, catch up, everything. I was like, yeah, cool, man. Just message me. I get a call the next day from a number I don't know. Hello? Hi, this is so-and-so from Thingy's office. I just want to... He told me that you guys are going to have coffee. So how does June the 3rd look for you? We're talking about 7 weeks from now, right?
Wait, don't make fun, because you had the same experience as my team.
Right? Exactly. No, and I literally said to her, I said, listen, I don't mean to be funny, but I don't know what I'm doing after tomorrow. And I definitely don't know what I'm doing on June the 3rd. So why don't you call me June the 2nd at 8 p.m. and see if I'm free for June the 3rd.
Yeah.
And she went quiet for a bit. And she was like, okay. But I was being serious. I wasn't trying to be funny or mean. I was like, don't book a coffee with me 6 weeks away. Like, I know he's busy, but if he really wants to see me, he'll be going to bed the night before. And here's another thing. Bro, we talk. We talk to each other. We call and we WhatsApp. Just tell me yourself, bro. You're sending your assistant to book a thing for me, bro. Bro, come on, dude.
You see, this is a good lesson for me as well. I think also there is, I'm taking also sometimes my stand-up comedy career into a corporate shift, and I shouldn't.
No, don't, bro.
This is a good, it was a good alarm.
Like from now, bro, from today, since we became friends, and we have become friends. If you ever send me anyone to message me about anything regarding our relationship,
bro,
I'm going to delete your number, bro.
Was so difficult
this
to
one
manage.
I understand
I'm really
because
sorry.
we didn't know each other. Okay?
But
here's another thing. A guy called me, he's like, I really want to come on your podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, no problem. Then 2 days later, his assistant calls me to book the session.
No way. I wouldn't have.
I'm like, bro, just when do you want to do it, bro? Like, don't. I don't have the mental patience.
Now
like, it's like a show off kind of thing.
Yeah, now
like,
I feel so bad.
No, I'll get my assistant. I mean, yours was okay because you sent 3 different assistants, so that's fine.
They were not my assistant. They were like the team because like my team.
I get it.
We get so confused.
No, I understand. And I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
And even the podcast one wasn't about you.
Yeah.
But I'm a people person and I'm very personal.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're already connected,
Exactly.
there is no need for a third party to come into
I'm
this
so happy
conversation.
we're having this conversation,
Right?
you know, because it's something I
Are you
always
happy,
feel.
or am I going to get a message from your assistant saying
No,
that John was so happy
please,
to have, to have that conversation with you? Right? I think I just got a message now. Tell him I was happy too.
You know what? Because there is something in a human connection that we're missing. Yes, I agree. I do the mistake. I'm now fully aware about it. That sometimes we think people are our personal chat GPTs. You know, like imagine you're connected. You want to talk with someone. Like you even forget that there is a human being.
Right? How do you think that person feels that you haven't taken the second to yourself message them?
Crazy. And I feel, you know, I did my mistake. My manager, his name is Tony. You didn't? You
I did speak to Tony.
Also,
100%. Wallah, ask Tony. I spoke to Tony, I spoke to Safa, and I spoke to one other person as well.
No way. Tony and Safa.
No, there's one other person.
No way, man.
Tony passed me to someone else, and then I arranged with them, and then out of the blue, Safa messaged me. Don't get me wrong, they're all lovely people.
It's wrong.
I have nothing against them.
Okay,
you are the villain, bro.
I'm the villain. Nothing. Thank you so much.
No,
thank you. Yes, very. Feel so comfortable in this this
Red Bull gives you
podcast.
wings.
Yes, Red. No, but, okay, there is a thing about. And you know, I'm doing this mistake, and I acknowledge that I'm doing this mistake, because usually in my trainings I'll tell people, guys, when you're texting someone on Teams, on WhatsApp, just think that there is a human being. That also there is the thing that people text something and then they send a question mark, as if there was no connection on ChatGPT, you know. And then with Tony, my relation, Tony is my cousin, you know, very close. We're very close since like very.
But when you
age.
messaged him, do you message Safa to message him?
No.
Oh, so you go straight to Tony.
But when I messaged Tony, I was like, Tony, when is the next show? And Tony replies, bro, marahib, sabah al-khair. And كيف يعني? How did you? So now the team makes fun of me. John, I'm not ChatGPT. I cannot check your calendar. Tony, John, you have everything on your calendar. Why are you asking me? So out of curiosity to see if I cannot memorize it all. Stufil, okay? So luckily that I have a team also that
100%.
Me as well.
I understand
important.
totally, but I'm very old-fashioned. I come from. How old are you now?
34.
Okay, I'm 42.
Okay.
So I come from the days where there was no phone, there was no internet, there was nothing. When you went to see your friends in the morning, you'd go to John's house. If John's not there, you missed them. They might still be at Tony's house.
Yeah.
If they're not at Tony's house when you got there, they've gone to that football pitch, which is in that park, and that's where they'll be, you know, for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I have arguments with my friends now because I like to talk on the phone. I like to call. I would rather have a 5-minute conversation where I can hear your voice, where I can hear you laugh, where I can see if you're upset. Hey, something's not wrong. Is everything okay? Like, do you know how many times I've messaged someone and they said, why are you shouting at me? And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I'm not even shouting. I'm laughing while I'm writing this. There's no context or feeling in text messages, right? You could be like having arguments with people just because they read the message wrong.
Yeah, Tony will be so happy.
Let's go back to the old days. Cut that shit out, man.
Man, Tony will be so happy because Tony sometimes call me. I told him, no, just send a text message. And Tony wants, no, I want to talk to you. I want to see, how do you feel about this project?
Yeah.
It's man, I'm so happy that we had
like,
this
imagine he's like, do you want to do this project? And you're just like, yeah, let's do it. But in your head, you don't want to do it. So you then go to that project and you don't have that energy in you that you usually have.
It's happening.
Right?
It's happening.
Where if it was on the phone, he would be like, you really don't want to do this, do you? And you'd be like, you know what, thinking about it, nah, I don't want to do it. And he'd be like, all right, forget these guys.
Man, amazing.
Right?
Wow, I wasn't expecting this. To be a
good podcast.
To see it in a different, I think we're, you know, also the problem that I tackle all this in my trainings and in my stand-up comedy.
Yeah, you tell everyone else, but don't do it yourself. Then
it's, you know, in my show, I talk a lot about this urge of being successful, of played by the book, of this way. I know you have self-help books, you have a spiritual, a certain spiritual approach. You go there, you try different experiences, and then at the end, you're the same person.
Yeah.
There was no need.
Yeah.
There was no
You
need to
figure it all
go
out yourself.
all and above to just to figure it out. You are the same person. Like people like it's your own
You just have
judgment
more
to yourself.
understanding.
It's your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's in French there is this word. It's intrinsèque. It's something from within.
Intrinsic, yeah.
Yeah, that will tell you that success means you by itself. But then the problem, you are part of the system as well. I'm part of the system as well. We've been. There is an amazing Lebanese psychologist called Albert Mkhayber, and he talks about a concept called the حل عن حالك. Okay, how to translate it in English? That just leave
Get
yourself.
over yourself.
Yeah, get off yourself. Leave yourself alone or something like this. I think it's powerful because every time we do something good, we think about the next thing, right? What is the next big step we're doing? And then you have all this Wall Street way of doing things that you need, and someone will tell you, oh, is it scalable? And then it gets to you, oh, it's not scalable. Maybe we need to scale it. Let's build a team.
Did you ever think that
No.
comedy was something to be scaled when you first started doing it?
No, I did it for my pleasure, to make fun about.
And the second that stops, you're corporate again.
Until now, it didn't stop.
Good.
But still, we have this
But
corporate
you
thing.
have to be active about making sure that it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And
we
being
need-
aggressively grateful with the position you're in now.
Yeah.
So on your tours, bro, I looked at one of your tours, bro. I was like, bloody hell, this guy's doing a Mother Teresa tour, bro. He's like going everywhere.
Everywhere.
How many people let's just say, are you filling up in a room each
We
time?
have the smaller show. The smallest show I've done ever was in Edinburgh. We had 25 people.
At the comedy festival.
No, not in the comedy. No, it was in June. But 25 people, and I knew that on the WhatsApp group of the Lebanese community there was only 15 people. so I really wanted to know who are the extra 10 people, and then I realized that they came all the way from Glasgow.
Wow.
And it meant the world to me that people this is it. So this is all the Lebanese community in Edinburgh watching my show. It was one of my best shows ever. Okay, but then we will have a similar experience this year, it seems, in Helsinki, because there is no one in Helsinki. And
I don't believe that. I think the Lebanese spread like a virus and they're everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
But then to get shows to my biggest, it was 3,000 people in Beirut.
Now, when you walk into a stage and there's 3,000 people there, must be pretty good for the ego, right?
Yes.
Must be.
Yes. It is very good for the ego. But I try because I'm well surrounded with people who ground me. They keep me grounded. Like I have a performance coach who helps me to literally stay on the ground. And I try to perform this show as if it was as personal as if it was for the 25 people.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's not everyone will get definitely the same experience. I'm sure the guys who are sitting in the back, very back, like they are not getting the same experience as the people sitting in the front. But I try as much as I can from the skills I have, because I have a lot to learn as well. How to deal with big stages, how to deal with big crowds, how to deal with big audience. There is a lot to be learned. I'm not there yet. So I'm on my learning path to know how to make it so personal for everyone.
Do you think ego is a bad thing? Because I don't at all. I think ego is one of the most important things that anyone can have.
Ego has a bad connotation, at least, no?
No.
No, but I'm not sure.
I think ego, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's two egos. There's egos from people who have no understanding for everything we've just spoken about and are not in touch with themselves or empathetic or have anything. And there's an ego for people like us that reminds us to stay on a level of excellence that we deserve and others deserve to get from us.
You know, I'm trying to think about it. I don't have an answer now. I'm learning Greek on Duolingo, and it seems ego just means I. That's it. So it's ego, and it made me reflect that is it a good thing or a bad thing? But I don't believe in I. I believe in we. You know, I believe in a we statement. So even if I'm with my team, I think it's a team effort. It's not. So it's everyone. When I go on the stage in front of 3,000 people, for me, all of us were on the stage.
Yes,
I'm the face
100%.
of the team, but it's
I
a
agree,
team thing,
but
you
I
know.
would say to you, if I am not excellent, how can we be perfect?
Is there a need to be perfect?
If I am not excellent, how can we be excellent? I think I helps you to be another strong link in the chain, right? And again, I said it because I'm viewing it from a different way as this other ego. Because
Yeah.
ego is still a part of a collective, right?
Yeah, but it's about everyone's contribution. I don't like this word maybe because also I'm coming from a Catholic
Yeah, yeah.
school where excellency is.
No, I
It's
went to the same Catholic
yeah,
school, bro.
yeah, yeah.
No, I get it, but
So I don't like
it's
it, but
pride
I
as
like
well. You got to take pride in yourself and
Yeah.
in your work. Like, for example, sometimes I argue with Win and stuff, and I say to him, bro, this needs to be done like this. This needs to be done like this. We can't have a can of Coke on the thing when the guest comes in. And it's not because I'm not gaining anything from it. We are, as a business, me
yeah.
and him, and as a collective and as a team, I want people to know that we're on top of our game,
Yeah.
right? Not because I want to have a go at him and say, I wouldn't have done it that way. We have a certain level of excellence. And through that brings comfort to people, it brings people feel safe with us, do you know what I mean? Because we have that. Where if it was just like, if you came in today, bro, I mean, look, you came in today, what was the first thing that you saw?
You guys, the skeleton.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, that could be silly.
Yeah.
But for you, when you came in, did you not feel, this place is all right? Because for some reason, these kids have a skeleton sitting on a chair holding one of the cameras. So they're not very serious,
exactly.
of. Like,
I felt I can make a joke about it because I
Yeah,
was
do you know
already
what-
late.
Yeah, right.
And I have 3 assistants.
yeah, right? That's one of them, bro. No, but like little things like that
They make a difference.
they make a difference.
No,
right?
maybe I have something in mind about this excellency. I think it's about making sure that everyone is bringing his best contribution to the game and his best value, so we can have everyone additional value on each other and to get into good result.
Right.
But there is something at the very bottom of the pyramid is about building trust with your team, because if there is trust, it means that you can have accountability within the team. It's not like telling you, bro, the mic was wrong, someone will take it personal. No, because there is trust. They know that we're doing all this for the best of the team.
Yeah.
And then it means there is conflict in the team, and it's a good conflict because teams should argue within each other. And it means if everything is good, it means we're getting
But
good
it also
result.
means that you care.
You
Like,
care,
for
yeah.
example, I'm older than Win. Win's my little brother. I take it upon myself. I mean, my little brother's Filipino, but still, he's still my little brother.
Yeah, I was
you're looking at him, you're like, you look
there
different. But I feel like it's my duty to treat him like he's actually my flesh and blood brother, because there's no difference. So I have experience because I'm older. I've been around. I've learned things. And when I tell him things, I literally, sometimes I've had to start the conversation, bro, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be saying any of this. And I want you to be the best version of yourself. And right now you're not.
Yeah.
And where I can see you're not, I'm going to tell you and point it out to you. And none of this is coming from a negative place. But you could be so much better at this, and this. Right? And I feel like it's my duty to do that, because I would want him to do the same as me.
Did you imagine that you will be the case study of today's podcast? Or? In every podcast. Okay.
No,
We've
but
been
like-
studying this
right, yeah.
this relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, because my other one died there.
We have a skeleton.
I don't want this
exactly.
to happen again.
It's the level of trust we have in this organization. But the thing is, why are you going out of the conversation? Is actually to set your intent, and it's important for people. And this is important that people sometimes, when you tell them that this is wrong, they will think that you're a bad person, you're a villain,
Or you don't think they're good enough.
or you don't think, and then they will start creating stories in their mind, and they will act in a weird way, and then when they will act in a weird way, you will also act in a weird way, and you will go all together in a downward spiral. I wish there was more transparency This is something we should have learned in school, by the way, instead of learning how to be
And even
more
conflict resolution.
not diplomatic. It's not diplomacy. The good, how to be in the game and do internal politics and things like this to get your professor attention. So I wish we learned how to be very transparent with ourselves, because we tend to think that honesty is something, and to be honest, and what is the other word? And kind. We tend to think that honesty and kind cannot come together. We say if you're honest, it means you're lying. And if you're kind, if you're honest, it means you're harsh. Okay. And if you're kind, it means you're lying. And then you realize, no, there is a way. You can build trust in your organization in a way that everyone will feel supported. Everyone will feel it's part of a bigger thing.
What does it mean to be Lebanese? Teach me, Obi-Wan.
No, I think it changes with time, and there is no clear definition, because everyone is Lebanese on his way. I think I don't want to romanticize, being Lebanese. There is nothing romantic
but what
about
does it mean
it.
to you?
But for me, being Lebanese is to always feel that you're on the edge. Okay, that there is something that is not working and you need to work it out. This helps you from a business mindset. It helps you to be agile. It helps you to be fully present. It helps you to be ready for the next thing. Like in this book, Who Moved My Cheese? Okay, so in this book, you're, I don't know the name of the mouse, but you're the name of the mouse that is jumping all around trying to get its next small bite of cheese. Okay, you're on the edge. You live on the edge. So because you live on the edge, you learned a lot. You learned that one day you won't be able to get a good connection, so you will figure out a way to send your file. You will learn that your parents are watching the news because there is something important, but it's important for you to finish your homework inside. So you're there. You know what you want. You know the only way to do it is to continue dreaming and to continue and not to lose your heading in the storm, because there are so many storms that happen, and you have some Lebanese businessmen and Lebanese entrepreneurs who manage within the storm not to lose their heading and to keep their focus on. And this is the difference between Lebanese managers and others, especially if they lived in Lebanon or they have Lebanese. I'm helping you to be a part of it, to include you.
Why do you think so much media is run by Lebanese people? What do you think drew the Lebanese to... Because even out here, when it comes to media, those Lebos, bro. They run everything.
Why media is run by Lebanese? I think because they know how to portray things in the best way possible. They are very good salespeople. Sales is part of our genes as well from the Phoenicians. So we know what to sell, how to sell, how to make it sellable, even if it's something...
How to turn the pot, so the broken pattern on the back doesn't show.
Exactly. But not necessarily. I think there is a lot of... not all of the Lebanese are not ethical. It's something, we have it, definitely. We cannot generalize that everyone is good, but also we have a good way of portraying things, okay? And letting people see in it something good. It's something we do about our country, when everything is not working out, definitely you will have one bar online that is going viral everywhere in the world. Everyone wants to come to this bar, and the whole country is like there is no electricity, and then there is only electricity in this specific. We know how to portray things in a good way, and I think this is a skill. A skill if you're not lying. A skill if you are able to showcase a skill of optimism, yes. But a skill if you're not saying something that is not right.
It's an incredible one. So you're into, obviously your comedy is Arabic, right? But I'm sure that you got a lot of your timing, that you watched a lot of stuff that wasn't Arabic too. Has it been the case, or did you grow your comedy from watching Arab comedians and that kind of stuff?
No, I think I grew watching everything. So I used to wait every Wednesday, and I think it was Wednesday night when we have this sketches, sketches on Lebanese TV. So this is the only day when my parents were letting me stay up till 9 p.m. And I remember if they didn't let me, I was in my room listening to what was. I didn't know why I was interested in this type of content, you know. Like other kids were interested by Harry Potter or reading Dragon Ball. For me, this was something that I was interested in since a very early age. Like the only channel that was always in the background was Paramount Comedy Channel. I used to watch a lot. I don't like the guy right now, but before I used to watch a lot of Seinfeld.
Bro, that's my favorite show ever on earth. I've seen it
the
a million
problem that
times.
the guy, you know,
I know.
with his positioning and everything. But for me, Seinfeld, I'm rewatching it right now, and I only watch maximum 1 or 2 episodes per day because I want to reflect on the episode, how it was written. And I feel this is amazing how it was written. It's written by comedians, and I think for comedians, because
it's Larry David as well. Him and Larry David.
Exactly. So as a comedian, you can see things in this show that maybe someone else cannot see it. The way it's written, it's
100%.
It's geniusly written. The timing, everything. So for me, watching Seinfeld, maybe this is where I got this idea that I need to hold a mic at some point, and I need to tell people.
What's the deal with these peanuts?
Exactly. So I don't know how I got here. If it's something that, but I know for a fact that I love to laugh. For me, Saturday night with the family, with my uncle, with my grandma, with my father, Saturday night and Sunday for lunch, it was a moment of laughter. We lived in full, like we were laughing about everything. My parents lost their house on August 4, 2000, before losing it again on August 4, 2020, and they were laughing the whole time. They were laughing. There is something about laughter. It's contagious.
Isn't it weird that these emotions, crying, anger, laughter, physically take over our whole body? Don't you think that's a very weird thing? Like when you're super angry, and I'm talking to the point that you're ready to fight or you are fighting, your brain isn't thinking, your body's on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
When you're laughing so much that there could be a chance that you shit yourself.
Exactly.
Or you're going to piss yourself, and your body is shaking, like in a way.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we have these emotions that above everything else are so powerful, that we're so engrossed in that feeling, that one emotion, that nothing else in the world can make a difference.
I'm not a therapist, and I'm not so aware about the mind composition, but I think that there is something in the mind that you can get into an anger state easier than getting, because there is this flight and fight response, easier than getting the dopamine phase where you're a little bit happy or something else. So the idea, I think, when you're laughing, you're so grateful for this moment, and then everything opens. And this is the power of comedy. You know, you can convince people doing everything you want if you make them laugh. Everything.
Yeah, 100%. And people will warm to you. Like my initial thing is, I mean, I'm not a comedian, but I'm pretty funny. No, but my thing is always, when I meet someone or when I'm around places, subconsciously, I always go for the funny, like all the time.
Definitely.
And you can be accepted anywhere in the world through funny. Like I've got out of some dangerous situations in Colombia, in Brazil, just by being funny.
Exactly.
To the point that 2 minutes ago, they wanted to rob me. 10 minutes later, we're sitting there playing cards, cracking up, laughing, bro. And you know what I mean? And I think that that's a crazy thing. And again, the whole taking over the body thing. It's so strange to me that if you found something so funny now, your eyes would close, your body would start shaking. I could just stab you like that and kill you. You have no defense. Once your body goes into that, that's it. That's what you're doing for the next 10 seconds.
Exactly.
So
and imagine mentally how you can convince people doing things. There is a thing that every time you're sitting on a table, laughing out loud, and you will have always a table, usually white people, feeling, and why are they laughing out loud? I feel their problem is not about the laughter. It's that they are not
Why
part
am I,
of
yeah,
it.
why am I not laughing? Yeah, why am I not part of it?
part
Yeah,
of it?
yeah.
So there is something about laughter. It's so contagious that everyone wants to be part of this laughing
100%,
session.
Yeah, 100% agree. Honestly, though, but bringing up Seinfeld, and I will bring him up again. I know that there's, but forget that aside.
Yeah.
I think till this day, Kramer is the best written supporting act in the history of TV.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, but yes, I think Kramer, because also he has other problems.
Yeah, he has other problems. But honestly, like, it's genius. His performance in Seinfeld is genius. But little things like the hair, the way it stands,
the clothes,
like the clothing, the
his
just
entrance,
the time when he was using butter. As,
I
But
was.
that's already funny.
Yeah.
But the funniest part is when Jerry puts the bread on his face and then puts it down, and he just starts eating it normally. And you know that because I have a friend who's exactly like him, bro. Growing up, he will do that kind of thing. He's exactly the same. So I just think it's genius, bro. Like to write that kind of thing.
And I'm always amazed by his entrance in every episode.
Yeah.
So I wait for it, where he will come from.
Yeah.
Okay, like sometimes
And just
jumping
the sounds.
over the chair.
Yeah. Just everything is perfect, bro. I think.
It's a good series, and it helps you also. Also, it helps you, to appreciate the normal life. I know that Jerry Seinfeld definitely doesn't have a normal life today. He's
for sure.
the only billionaire. I think him and Kevin Hart, but Jerry Seinfeld, the way he portrays the life of comedians, it helps us all together to realize that the only thing that we need in life is actually to be present in life. Like you don't need to go into a writing session. You don't need to close your door, guys. I have something to. No. You need just to be focused, to be present, to be out there, to enjoy your time with your friend. Like I love it when every time like he was and Kramer comes up with some weird idea, and Jerry was, I don't know how wrong this will go. I'm not sure.
How bad can this
How
go?
bad?
Yeah. And then the one time where, actually, that's not a bad idea. Like, you know what I mean? It's very smart. And again, you were saying it, and it goes to the point that the world is such a funny place, and we have so many funny characters. Like observational, as a comedian, you must see so much that's going on that you're like, that's a bit.
Yeah,
that's a bit. That's
yeah.
a bit.
If you're present, yes.
A bit, yeah.
The more you're present, the more you forget
Aware,
the fact that you are a comedian, because you need to see it to live it. Let me just continue something about the Seinfeld and the problem with Seinfeld today and all, because comedy is about saying the truth. If you're not saying the truth, this is a problem. Will break the trust with your audience. People will feel that you're not saying the truth. People will feel that you're letting your emotions, how to say it, kill the truth on it. And this is, I think, what's happening with Jerry Seinfeld today. And this is a problem. When you see him and you trust this guy, I want to be part of his tribe. And then you can see some weird political,
one, right?
some political things that he's saying. And then, bro, what's happening? Man, I trusted you. I think this is what happened also with Louis C.K. Okay, so
Louis C.K. is not bad, bro. He asked them first. They said yes. That's their problem, bro. Do you know what I mean?
This is
not
a whole debate. But okay,
it's different if he just was walking around just
when
doing
you denied. Okay, the thing that
Yeah.
and there is like I read it in a book about stand-up, that the problem with people with Louis, it's not that he did what he did. The problem that he didn't say the truth in the beginning and he denied. Okay, the problem that you are in comedy, we are trying to get the truth.
Okay, but you're now not everything we just spoke about.
Yeah.
You're not looking at him as a human being that was scared.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
it was suddenly put on him. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
His first instinct was, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Which is what everyone would do, unless you're that type of person who would be like, yeah, I did. I asked them. They said it's cool. What's wrong with you guys? It's our personal business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which he eventually went to once he had time to soak it in. Once he had time, because these people, they don't give you time to think and come back with a statement. They want to have that gotcha moment. So I understand Louis as a human being, as a Like, look, if a story came out about me now, like literally while we're doing this episode, you messaged Tony and said this guy pulled out blah 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 blah, blah and it's all over social media. By the time I finish it and I go on it, then instantly I'm gonna be like,
you
shit.
don't have
Like we've all done things in life.
And I really think also things are a little bit out of hand.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's things happen, you cannot stop it, and then social media will take over, and then
we've all had this moment in life.
You're public enemy number one.
We've all had this moment in life where you did something that sucks. And then you got called out about it, and instantly your heart jumped into your throat.
You say no.
Because you realized, I can't believe I did that. You weren't even thinking about it, but it hit you in a way where instantly you felt regret. Well, we all have it. So it comes to the same point as this. Art and the person behind it, it's a very difficult one because R. Kelly pissed on 15-year-olds. But every time I listen to my mind's telling me no, but my body, like I grew up with these music. And there are people who are like, I'm turning it off. Some people will say Michael Jackson did this with kids. I don't believe anyway. I'm not even a part of that thing. But I'm telling you, I grew up with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but,
like,
but
and I'm talking about every day. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I don't have a good...
how do you separate the artist from the act from the artist? Because there is no way you're removing Michael Jackson from my head. And I don't mean I'm actively looking for Michael Jackson songs. But the second a Michael Jackson song comes on, I know every lyric, every... Do you know what I mean? How do you...
I'm not sure, but for stand-up, because I'm not... Like, people tell me as artist, I don't even know if I'm an artist, you know? I'm still discovering my way into this art form. And very, very... very... like, it's something I'm not sure about until now. What am I doing? However... For me, for stand-up comedy specifically, it's about the road towards the truth. And this is what bothers me, you know. This is where I feel, and no, if you're taking like another way of not saying the truth or not getting or not removing this mask, all our career is about removing mask after another to become your true self on stage. This is my perception, but also it's very, very subjective.
But also you realize that you no longer have the right to say I'm not an artist or I don't know if I am or not, right?
Yeah, but
you filled a room of 3,000 people.
What's the
no, but what I'm saying is you didn't fill a room of 3,000 people by accident.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
this
that's
is
it. It's done
is
now.
what my therapist
and I know you feel you want to be humble and stuff right now, which is cool. It's cute, but at the same time,
need to assume it as
it's
well.
over, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's done now. You are a fully fledged stand-up comedian at a high level, bro. 3,000. You know how many people that is, bro?
Yeah, I know.
In a week, if you walked every day in the streets doing whatever you're doing, you wouldn't see 1,000 people.
Yeah, exactly.
In a month, you wouldn't interact with. You wouldn't, bro. It's
but
and that's not once. You're on a tour where all these people are coming. They're taking time out of their day, of their corporate shit life that they hate, to spend money that they have earned, to take time out and forget about the world and be with you. So you don't have the right to be like, I'm trying. You're trying to evolve your act. Yes, I agree.
But
you're there.
But there is the thing about this that it's difficult for us also to assume where we are and to take the full. There is something, I think it's from. I'm not sure.
Syndrome.
Maybe because of you get this from your parents, you get this from the society, but then you get there and you think, is this gonna?
It's called imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
bro.
imposter, definitely.
But again, part of it is that we feel that we should appear humble.
Yeah.
Which is a bad thing at some points, because you put a dim on the celebration of your victories.
We're celebrating.
You're celebrating,
but
yes. But it's nice to be like, no, I'm dope. I'm How many countries on your last tour?
This one, 40, 41.
And you think you have the right to say, I'm just starting to figure out this
I'm
comedy thing?
I'm figuring I'm on the way. It's
No,
important
you're
to
doing
see
it.
that.
No, yes, for
it's,
sure.
It's a long way.
It's a long way. But if you stopped at the end of the year,
For me,
would you not think,
yeah.
whoa, bro, what did I?
Yeah,
You know, I just
definitely.
toured 40 countries in 1 year as a comedian.
Yeah.
This is people's dreams, bro. Like, I know comedians who haven't toured 40 clubs in the same country, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so at the same time,
And now
I
we're
get what
doing
you're saying.
opera in Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai Opera,
Yeah.
bro. That's going to be dope.
It's another 2,000 in Dubai Opera. It's things happen, and then it's important also. Like always, my performance coach Rafi, he tells me, John, it's important to take your time to reflect on what you have just done, because doing all these shows back to back without
You have time
non-stop,
to
like
digest.
you're not even realizing what you were doing. Did you realize that in 1 week you did? We were like from April 7 till today. It was Istanbul, Cairo, Dammam, Jeddah, 7 shows in Riyadh, 6 shows in Amman, 1 show in Muscat, Berlin, Essen, Amsterdam, Brussels, Rennes, and I went to Montreal for a private event.
Is that it?
And then I was,
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah,
You only did that?
Is this
Yeah.
is this what you want? Yeah. So yeah, this is another thing.
Bro, you should celebrate. And I understand it because I'm kind of the same as you. It was only when a friend of mine said to me, you know, in the last couple of years, you've grown your circle. Because I have a lot of celebrities that come here and legends that I used to watch, sports legends when I was younger, who are very close friends with me now. You know, and I got a call and it was like, you know, a Manchester United football and France national team legend who's a very close friend of mine. And, you know, she saw it on there. And I got off the phone and she was like, was that Michael Silvestre? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, because I'm simple at the phone. I'm sitting there, we're cussing each other, tonto, and you know, getting into it. And I was like, yeah, that's normal. We always talk. And she was like, you realize how weird that is.
Yeah.
That you're at that stage now. And I was like, I didn't really think about that. Like I used to shout at the screen when he was playing kind of thing. Like
Exactly.
Kind
You
of
don't see
thing.
it, I
You
didn't
need
see
to
it.
celebrate that kind
The
of
first
stuff.
time I met Gad El Maleh or Ridwan Bougueraba or like big comedians, and I was there, man, who am I to be part of this? But then you need to celebrate, definitely.
Yeah. And then you forget. They become normal people to you, which
Exactly.
they are, again,
Exactly.
all normal people. I know you have dinner at 9, right?
Yeah.
How are we on time? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay. Can we do another episode? Because I feel like there's so much more
I would love to do it.
that we can do.
I will tell Safa.
Don't have to message me. Tell her to message me and send me. Actually, tell her to send me an email.
Man, I
Yeah.
would love to really. I really
Bro, I feel
enjoyed
like
it, man.
We should start our own one, bro.
I would say something. Out
Yeah.
of all the podcasts I've been doing, and I do a lot, and this podcast, it was something like eye-opening for me. So it was an eye-opener because the perspective you brought is totally different from the one I have in mind. So for me, thank you, because I needed this moment of reflection exactly at this time before jumping on a tour again in
Bro.
2 days. So thank you.
Bro, thank you for coming, bro. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, Tony, that deserves 8 tickets to Dubai Opera, and
Yeah,
I'll be
you will,
VIP, and I will
definitely. You
take
will
them, bro. I want to be behind the curtain. In fact,
Definitely,
put
man.
me in
I
the
would love
WhatsApp
to
groups. I
have
want to be
you,
part of the
man.
team. It seems like
Thank
a cool
you
team,
so
bro.
much. Thanks
I
a
would
lot.
like to. No,
Really.
Habibi. I feel like there's a lot we missed out.
Yeah.
But again, this is what I like about doing what I do.
Yeah.
This has been a very human conversation, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
we got to know each other in ways that would take us 3 years, usually meeting each other in different places, right?
Exactly.
In
And
the
then
space of
ta.
an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm always grateful for the show, and I'm grateful for you to come,
Man,
Habibi.
thank you so
If there's
much.
anything you feel like you missed out, we can say now. Any tour dates or anything you can say to that camera
No,
there?
like we have in Dubai, my biggest show, Dubai Opera on October 11, and we have l'Olympia in Paris on October 23. So these are the 2 big shows that are happening right now.
It's
with
been-
all the tour.
with the tour, right?
But these
And then
are the two big ones.
69 other
And
countries
69,
after that,
exactly.
bro. And 18 people in Helsinki. Bro,
Definitely.
it's been an absolute pleasure. I
Man.
don't want to keep you too long because I want your wife to stay your wife and not
We
argue with you about
We
being
will have
late.
something interesting to talk about in the next episode.
Exactly, right? See what happened from now.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
Man, thanks a lot.
Thank
I'm
you to
so
Red Bull for,
honored to be-
for giving us wings.
Thank you. It was.
You know, I don't usually do
was
this,
so
but because
subtle.
we're both sponsored athletes.
Yeah, it was
I feel
so
like
subtle. Yeah, no.
I'm still flying, bro. No, but yes, no, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. And boom.